Hey guys, Matt from Back Yourself Fitness here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Triathlon Prep Series. Alright, so episode 3 of the Triathlon Prep Series. Let's have a rewind. What have we done so far? Episode 1, we looked at weeks 1 through 4 of the training. Episode 2, I looked specifically at week 5 of training. And now I'm going to look at week 6. Now, a couple of things from the start. These videos are always retrospective, so where I do basically a review of the week that was. So I'm currently about to start week 7 with the triathlon being in week 8. We'll worry about that when we get to the next video. It's going to be more so longer distances for less intensity in this week coming. This week just gone, so week 6, was much more higher intensity, triathlon specific, with more rests thrown in. And you'll see what I mean when we break it down. Another little quick one, I just want to point out, or just mention, so the triathlon distances I'm doing is a sprint triathlon. So 750 swim, 20k bike, 5k run. I had someone bring to my attention, have you thought about getting a wind trainer or a stationary bike trainer to make training easier for time purposes? Yes, it is something I've thought of. For the distances I'm doing though, I wouldn't get as much value out of it. When I move to, and this is going to happen, when I move to a full triathlon distance or an Olympic distance, I know my base training for the triathlon events is going to have to increase. So that will be where I look at every day I will need to be doing something triathlon related. But that's future me's problem. Let's have a look at what I did in week 6, plus kind of where I'm at with all training. So week 6, we started off, I've got it all written down. Week 6 started off with a 20k bike, not necessarily pushing it to 100%, but 60, 70, 80-ish% of what I want to get to time-wise for the bike leg of the tri. And then Monday afternoon was just mobility. So tri event, relax. Tuesday was a little bit time poor, just the way my schedule fell being a PT. Some days it's just more hectic than others. Was rest to start off with, and then upper body weights, more specifically back work in the afternoon, a lot of rows, a lot of posture orientated stuff on Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, I did a 1200 meter swim. Once again, shooting harder and higher than the distance for the sprint tri to basically make me calm down a little bit on the swim, not get too carried away, because I know adrenaline will take over when we get out there on the day. So I need to be able to manage my expectations and manage my output. So longer distance gives me enough time to go, all right, cool, take it easy, focus on your strokes. So when it comes time to get out there into the big bad world of the triathlon, I'm not at panic stations. I can kind of calm myself down while I'm working, no matter what leg it's on. So 1200 meter swim and then rest in the Arvo. Thursday was a complete rest day. So already Monday through Thursday, I've had a lot of rest. Friday, I had a crack basically at the triathlon. Now, I did the full swim, the full bike, the full run. I set out to go, right, let's go through it, just so I know what to expect. Cruisy changeovers, not necessarily pushing hard at all. Just once again, so my brain goes, you can handle this, absolutely no problem. Now, I would not suggest necessarily doing that if you haven't got a solid fitness base to work from, or if it's your first time try and you haven't done anything like that before. I know when I did the half marathon, I ran a half marathon, the furthest distance I ran was 18 kilometers before that, and the half marathon's 21. Now, why did I do that? Because I know I could have managed another 3 kilometers, but I didn't want to get there's almost an element of unknown I wanted to keep to it. Now, doing this, the full practice, I guess you'd say, I kind of have an idea roughly of what times I'm kind of looking for, or like sitting at a cruisy pace, what I should be doing. So I have something to beat or something to work towards. Now I'll be tracking everything as I'm working. So I can have a quick look at the watch and see if I need to hurry up or whatever the case may be. So Friday I did a 750 swim, open water, had a 10-12 minute changeover, then the 20k bike, but the 20k bike was like 2-minute break into the run. Now I've got my splits here, or my times here, just so you can kind of have a reference. For the swim, it took me 27:39. I'd like to get that down by 5 minutes. The bike was 48:22. I'd like to get my bike anywhere between 44 and 46. And then the run was 24:31. Now that's a pretty decent run, so that's sitting under 5 minutes a K. Closer to 24, 23 and a half, I'm stoked. So I'm trying to shave time off everything, but now I know what to expect. My heart rate, just looking at the stats, my heart rate peaked at 184, but that was on the back end of the run. So when I'm trying to give the run a bit of a stride home, shall we say. So I know I'm capable of more output through the rest of the moves. Like the bike was very cruisy, the swim is very cruisy. For anyone who's using their Garmin's or smartwatches to track what's going on, for the open water swim, I'd swim, you know, anywhere between 70 and 150 meters, and then I'd stop, and then the watch has to then count how many meters you've done. So you're sitting there watching your watch for 30, 45 seconds, and then you go again. So there was a lot of breaks in the swim. That's why the time was so long. But yeah, I know I'm capable of a lot more output on those events or those exercises. Saturday was a complete rest. And then Sunday, because this is Monday as I'm filming it, was a 45-minute, 50-minute metabolic conditioning. It's probably the hardest intensity I've worked at for weights through the 6 weeks now that I've done it. And I'm sore today, but that is last week, the Friday and the Sunday, so yesterday, they're the hardest I've worked in the 6 weeks that I've done it so far. And that was the plan. So from here on out, I'm looking at longer distances at less intensity, and then come the week of the tries, a full taper off. Like, might go for a 15, 20k bike, maybe. I've got a 500 or 800 meter swim, and then a couple of k's run, and then it's just rest for the back end of the week. So that's where it is for week 6. Now, body-wise, how am I feeling? Pretty sore because of the intensity of the things that I've done, or the duration of things that I've done. So today is my first remedial massage that I'm going for in my training program. I have been doing a lot of rest and a lot of mobility, but I'm now at a point where I've not overused, but used my muscles to a certain point where it's out of the realms of foam rolling and stretching. I need someone to get in there and have a crack at them. So I know I'm going to hurt today, and I know I'm going to be sore post today. I'm also scheduled to see a chiropractor, my usual chiropractor, before the try, and I may even sneak another massage in before the actual try itself, because my output has increased by tenfold. Like the amount of running or riding or swimming that I've done in the past 6 weeks has increased heaps. And if I'm keeping my recovery and mobility the same, it's not going to measure up. So I need to do more recovery and more mobility to try and catch up. And I say to people all the time, people that I'm training, you've got to invest in yourself. If you're increasing your output, like let's say you've got a half marathon or a run coming up, or you're trying to get a new PR on your deadlifts or bench or squat or whatever, you're doing more load and more stress on specific muscles again and again and again and again and again. So you're going to need to improve, increase, or outsource your recovery and mobility. And if you're someone who's shit, and you know everyone's a culprit of this, and you will not stretch and not roll, then you need to see someone. Otherwise, you're just compounding that stress and tension on the muscles, and they're going to give up on you. So last thing I want is my hips or my groin or my back to grab, or my calf to grab when I'm halfway through the ride and I still have half a triathlon left. So I'm investing that time and money into myself today, seeing a remedial massage lady. She's going to have some fun digging into my sore spots. From a nutrition point of view, my calorie intake has increased, more specifically my carb intake. And I don't want to say license to kill, but that's essentially what it is, because my output cardiovascular wise is so high. I need to make sure there's enough energy in the tank. Like I'm working PT hours, so I'm working split shift every single day, then throw on top higher endurance training, and then, you know, possible sprint training in there as well. So I need to make sure there is enough energy in my body to sustain what I'm doing. So my advice for anyone who's doing an endurance style event is make sure you are doing enough recovery, mobility and rehab, and make sure your calorie intake is high enough to sustain these increased outputs. That's where I'm at the end of 6 weeks. I'm pretty chuffed after the practice run I had on Friday. So my confidence is reasonably high, but now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, you know you can do it. It's time to go to work and time to push. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's see how I feel come the end of week 7. Yeah, fun times ahead. I'm getting excited. The triathlon's less than 2 weeks away. So, all right, next episode. Let's see what happens.